This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti, and of course also the Super Dog joining us in our program today. Being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, where it's Taco Tuesday at all Taco John's locations where you can use the drive-thru, because that's all you can do. Drive-thru on South Greeley Highway. Drive-thru over on KRAE Avenue, on Pershing and Ridge, Delrange and Ridge, and on Yellowstone Road. Oh, by the way, you can use the Taco John's app as well when you visit your local Taco John's. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Again, my good friend AJ over there at Kia of Cheyenne reminds you, come onto the lot, kick a few tires, take a test drive. They are sanitizing hourly, plus they've got hand sanitizer there. Or you can do your business online, where they will set everything up for you, and they will even do your trade sight unseen, giving you Kelly Blue Book value for your vehicle today. So it's your choice. They'll even deliver to you at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. All the inventory is also online as well. Kia of Cheyenne, 775-0123. Platte Valley Bank ×2, the original location on Vanda High, the east side location, corner of College and Pershing. 2 convenient drive-thrus, or if you need to do some sit-down business, feel free to call Platte Valley Bank at 778-0121. Chick-fil-A Windmill and Delrange, right across from Powers Field and Menards, serving up 3 delicious squares Monday through Saturday. Yeah, breakfast is really, really good there. In addition to lunch and dinner. Now, lunch, again, you can do their delicious chicken sandwich along with their waffle fries, and how about some mac and cheese? You can even have a milkshake. However, no whipped cream on top, as well as a cherry. They're going to put it in a flat lid, no ice cream cones right now. But, hey, that's the way things are rolling. Chick-fil-A, 2 convenient drive-thrus, curbside, and, again, use the Chick-fil-A app to get everything all taken care of. Medi-Cal Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs, open Monday through Saturday right next door to Texas Roadhouse. They got a convenient drive-through, or you can social distance inside at Medi-Cal Pharmacy. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue, 638-6468. That is the telephone number to get a hold of Bruce or the service department. And in the sales office, you will find Frigidaire, Maytag, GE, Frigidaire. Again, they got hand sanitizers as you walk into both the sales office as well as the service office. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Lennox Auto Body in the Auto Glass and Detail Center, the Auto Body Shop at 1020 Dunn Avenue. Again, working on limited hours right now, 10 a to 2 p, Monday through Friday. You can get a hold of Heather and the great staff at 634-6608. Set up an appointment time. Yeah, they're still doing the repairs and the painting, but again, they're just on limited office hours. They could also take care of you as well for setting up an appointment, whether it's at Lennox Auto Body or the Auto Glass and Detail Center, 634-6608. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, and they're open Monday through Friday. Call ahead to let them know that you're doing some banking. They'll meet you there. 632-3500 First Tier Bank in Cheyenne. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Joe Mondello celebrating his 5th decade in business. His pie is still number 1 in Wyoming, ranked in the top 10 by the Food Network folks. Nick, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about Mondello's Pizzeria. Freshly made dough that is always prepared the professional way, the way the pizza should be made. They flip it up in the air. All the ingredients are fresh. The sauces are excellent. And again, at Mondello's, their pizza is ranked number 1 in Wyoming. So taste it for yourself if you don't believe me. They offer Sicilian pie, pizza pie, stromboli, calzones, their hot and cold Italian subs, and their delicious Philly steak subs. Matter of fact, their steak subs come with, matter of fact, it's on fresh baked bread. So check out everything that Joe has for you at Mondello's, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. They're open Monday through Saturday, beginning at 11 o'clock, Sundays at 12 noon. Of course, go right to the takeout window and pick up your food. Their telephone number, again, 778-6068. And, of course, our program, which has a scoreboard. Unfortunately, it's still showing zeros because it's not lit. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
We'll only at least assume for a little bit. Again, we'll see what happens with Cheyenne Post 6 and also to Cheyenne Extreme, where, again, as we will talk in the 4 o'clock hour with at least Mayor Orr about the recent opening of the athletic fields here in the city of Cheyenne. Hopefully we will have at least sports in this part of the world.
Softball players, you better be listening up as well, too. Find out where you're at.
Yeah, without a doubt, for Cheyenne Extreme, for Rec League, for possibly even Cheyenne Junior League. Hopefully we will have some games at least upcoming very soon here, not only just here in the city of Cheyenne, but also too here in the state of Wyoming. So obviously, again, that is to be determined on many levels, but hopefully we'll get back into some normalcy here very soon with a scoreboard.
Well, it's not going to happen for a while. If I read the news right this morning, it looks like we're still kind of in limbo according to our state government.
Anyways, I also too want to at least talk about, at least very quickly before we get our first guests on, but thank you all who at least showed up this past Friday, downtown Cheyenne, cruised the streets of downtown Cheyenne. Again, also too donated. We had a lot of cash donations. Also too did recommend folks to donate online. Talk with the Chamber of Commerce. They had a lot of hits that Friday night between those 2 hours. So again, thank you to all who came out for the cruise in Cheyenne. You know, again, a one-time thing, possibly. We'll see if there's other opportunities, again, for other charities here in town or at least within this county. So, again, but thank you to all who did show up, who all tuned in as well, too, who requested songs, again, came on out and cruise the strip with some of the beautiful cars in town.
Like that GTO you were mentioning. Matter of fact, we definitely got to get that in the rotation. Also, too, going back to that, and you look at in the month period of time since everything was basically shut down. I mean, think about all the things that we have been involved in here. You know, again, this is what radio is all about for us. We work in the public interest. We have been involved, like you said, you and Jacob did a great job with the cruise night. We've also been involved with Radio Cares, independent broadcasters across the U.S., including us, where we raise funds for food banks all over the place, including our own Wyoming Food Bank. And we've been involved with the Cheyenne Kiwanis Club and their Kiwanis Foundation COVID-19 fundraising effort. So, again, during this 1 month period of time, we may not have done a lot of sports talk shows, but I guarantee you we've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Again, thank you to what you guys did this past Friday night.
Absolutely.
All right, we are going to take a timeout. And when we come back, we will talk with Greg Cronin. He is the Colorado Eagles head hockey coach, and we'll be back right after this on 1480 KRAE.
At Mountain Dew, we say here's to the doers.
The people who know you gotta do what you gotta do.
Who do it big.
Then do it bigger.
Who don't just watch.
So if there's something you want to do,
Here's a little advice.
Grab yourself an ice-cold Mountain Dew.
then get to it.
That's right. Get going.
Get started.
Stand up.
Jump up.
Grab hold of it.
Throw down on it.
Run with it.
Now. Right now.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Next month.
Next year.
Work it out.
Grind it out.
Get stoked.
Get passionate.
And do it.
Do it till it hurts.
Do it till you can't.
Do it till you've done it.
And most of all, don't ask how other people do it.
Don't ask how you should do it.
Don't ask if it can be done.
Don't ask if it's ever been done.
Because there are those who don't.
And those who do.
At Mountain Dew, we say,
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Let's do.
Do the do.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
When you support small business, you're supporting a dream. Now more than ever, we need to support each other and our communities. Use your Platte Valley Bank Visa debit or credit card at a local merchant today. Or better yet, use Digital Wallet for a contactless way to pay. Add your Platte Valley Bank card to Apple Pay, Google Pay, or Samsung Pay. Shop small and bank local.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student-athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Otherwise, for today, partly sunny with the chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Expect a daytime high of 68. Winds will be southerly at 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and breezy for tonight with our low down to 44. And for tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be partly sunny with a chance for showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. We're calling for a daytime high of 69 degrees.
You're listening to Cheyenne's News Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Good afternoon. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti, and we bring on our first guest, and we're lucky to be chatting with him here on May 12th, usually, or May 11th. May 12th. We probably would not be talking to him because it would be playoff time, but he is the head coach of the American Hockey League's Colorado Eagles, the AAA affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche, and we're going to be talking with Greg Cronin. Coach, it is so nice to talk to you. I wish we were talking playoffs, though.
Yeah, it's an awkward time, Larry. I think everybody across the world's feeling it, and it's unfortunate because our team was gelling at the right time, and I think everybody that was following the NHL was really impressed with the Avalanche success despite the star players that had injured. And when that happens, as you called us, the AAA affiliate has to send our best players up. And both teams managed to do really well with these significant injuries. And we were very fortunate to get Utah Grizzly players up to help us, and the Avalanche got the Colorado Eagles up to help them. And then usually when something like that happens, it gives you an additional level of confidence. And then when you get healthy bodies back, we'd be marching into the playoffs, like you said, and unfortunately the season got abruptly halted, and now that we've been sitting in limbo for 7 weeks, we know now that it's officially over.
Yeah, again, the AHL came out of recent and made that official announcement saying, hey, the season has come to an end. The standings, the stats, the points, all that fun stuff for 2019-2020 are official. So as we look at the finalized standings, so to speak, for the Colorado Eagles, just a few points behind the Tucson Roadrunners there in the Pacific. But again, that puts you at second place for this year. So as you talked about, Coach, again, this Eagles team that, again, this franchise that has been known to make it to the playoffs and again, have great teams year in and year out, was on that same pace to put on another spectacular kind of playoff effort coming up here this season as well.
Yeah, there's an interesting dynamic with the AHL, and it's a little bit similar in the East Coast League, but I think it's different in the sense so that the weapons that you get when teams don't make the playoffs. If you're one of those teams in the American League that the parent club doesn't make it, they weaponize you with great players. And we're in a situation which is very unique where our NHL club was a premier team, obviously was a Stanley Cup contender. They were going to make the playoffs, so we weren't going to get weaponized with players sent down. We were actually probably going to get players brought up. And the teams that were around us, the Tucsons, the San Diegos, the Stocktons, they probably weren't going to make it, so they would have gotten assets sent down. So it really, I just think it's really exciting because it gives our guys an opportunity like the Bowers and the Couts and the Timmons, who are three of the, the young players that have NHL aspirations, and it gives them a chance to play in a real different style of hockey. So, it's unfortunate. I think it's a credit to the organization in terms of Craig Billington and Chris McFarland and Joe Sakic stocking our team with good players. And unfortunately for the Eagles fans who are used to seeing playoff hockey into June, they won't be able to see it.
Coach, as you look at your second season in the American Hockey League, based in the Budweiser Center there in the Fort Collins, Loveland area, and again, I'm just sitting here being a small market guy myself and feeling the impact of what this COVID-19 has done across the nation and here locally. I can't even fathom financially what it's done to the franchise, the Colorado Eagles, and to all that are involved. Because again, your fan base and the economy has to be taking a tremendous hit with the cancellation of the remainder of the season plus the playoffs.
Well, it's really to me it's tragic. Again, in the AHL, we're a very unique franchise. I mean, there's probably like 5 or 6 franchises that sell the building out every night, and we happen to be blessed to be one of those venues. And that a lot of that credit goes to Martin Lind, who's owned the team through its inception, through the CHL, the East Coast Hockey League, and now the AHL affiliation with the Avalanche. And I think that the fans are really rewarded with a quality brand of hockey because Martin believes in that. He promotes that, and then they do a really nice job at the Budweiser Center, creating a good environment for the fans. And and that's it's a small slither, tiny slither of just some of the wreckage that this coronavirus has left in its wake. But again, for the hockey enthusiasts and the people that that really enjoy the games, it's just another one of those disappointing parts of life in the presence of this virus.
Coach, or at least not to cut you off, but Coach, as we've talked on the local side, whether it's high school coaches for various sports, even on the JUCO side, collegiate athletics as well too, but now on kind of semi-pro aspect with the Colorado Eagles being part of the AHL. But what have you done, as you talked about 7 weeks and now this point where we now know the season is officially canceled, or at least it's stopped for 2019-2020, but you as a coach, though, what have you been doing during these times? Have you been able to set up workouts or try to make sure that your players or following, guidelines or something like that? I mean, what has been your job during these kind of off weeks, so to speak?
Well, it's like I kind of adopt the Marine Corps strategy: is you adapt and you overcome, right? So you got to adapt to the virus, and you got to try and find ways to overcome the deficiencies that are built into the statewide restrictions, the countrywide restrictions. So what we tried to do was allow the players who were allowed access to the Budweiser Center, who were injured and going through treatment, and the players that would have been like Black Aces, which is the name used for the call-up guys for the NHL run. So when the Avalanche make the playoffs and they go into the playoffs and our season's officially over, then they would take players from us, like there's anywhere from 5 to 6 players, and then just practice with them, and they're just ready to be called up in the event of an injury. So we try to focus on getting those players in an environment where they can work out and train. Well, within a week of that, the state shut down the Budweiser Center. So now you have a weight room that's obviously, if you have people congregating there, it violates the social distance policies. So then we try to get some weights in a separate facility where they could work out and wait for our season to get some visibility to it. Then they shut that down. So it was like a step-by-step process. So as we were trying to adapt and overcome each hurdle, we were getting firewalled at the next one. So then we just try to allow them to take some weights home, in limited capacity, of course, depending on the size of their condos or apartments, and do some workouts and ask them to do running and things like that so their conditioning could stay at a high level. And then ultimately when that happens, you lose basically control, and then you're relying on the athlete to drill into the character that he has to compete at a high level with the absence of coaching. So that's what the players have been doing. And, now they understand that the season's over. There's a handful of guys that'll stick around that will be black aces. Me personally, I mean, it's a bigger picture than just hockey, and this sounds kind of goofy, but for all of us, for me particularly, it's an opportunity for me to do an inventory of where I'm at in my life and try and create values for what I want to achieve in the next 10 years of my life, whether it's athletically or socially or financially, and I've really followed that, and I've actually used it as kind of a blessing. It's a once-in-a-generation thing, even though it's painful. Like I say, I try and flip it over and say, well, it's an opportunity to do something different, and that's what I've been doing.
We're talking with Greg Cronin, Colorado Eagles head coach. Coach, I want to go back to earlier part of our conversation where, again, the Colorado Avalanche, the parent club of the Eagles, and again, you get some players up from Utah sometimes to fill some gaps as well. And it made me think, in different sports where if a quarterback goes down, the second string quarterback will come in, and usually there's something amiss. It just doesn't have that same sense when you have the first team out there, or baseball, a key injury and the guy has to go down and rehab with the minors. But with the Avalanche, you guys are going back and forth. So does that affect the game of hockey? Again, does it affect when you have guys that are rehabbing with the Eagles and they're on different lines, and you're used to having certain lines out on the ice working together? Does that make a difference in the sport of hockey?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and I think when people go to the game, their eyes are going to gravitate towards Nathan McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen, Cale Makar, Gerard. Like every team, and I played football and baseball growing up, and I'm familiar with the dynamics of those sports as well. You need a good pitcher in baseball, as we all know. You need a couple of them, and then you need obviously in football, your quarterback's the guy, and then in hockey, your goalie's usually the guy, right? And then outside of those critical positions, you have a support group, and I basically call them the core guys. And I this is kind of an interesting way that we look at it. Is like everybody plays cards. Everybody knows what an ace, a king, a queen is. So whoever has the most aces and kings is usually going to win poker games, okay? So I transition that over to hockey. So if your team has, like, let's just say Nathan McKinnon's an ace, Landeskog's a king, Rantanen's an ace, Makar's an ace, they're resourced, they're equipped, they're armed with good players, okay? So as long as they're playing, and it trickles down to us, like, obviously our ace cards, Tynan's a heck of a player, McDonald's a heck of a player, A.J. Greer was in that category. When you lose those critical pieces, you called it rhythm, that's when your rhythm gets disturbed. That's when you lose some of that strength and reliability and performance, because those guys are eating up like 20 minutes a night. The key is, and the teams that do really well, and I think really what happened with the Avalanche, for the people that watched them closely this year, it was well covered and well written about during the season. They lost their ace cards. They lost Landeskog for a long time. They lost Rantanen for a long, long time. They lost Makar for a while. But they kept coming. They kept winning. And the reason why they won was because, going back to those key positions, the goalie, who also went out, Grubauer, was replaced by our goalie last year, Francouz, who did an unbelievable job. And then when they got call-ups from us, they're not going to go from being ace cards in the AHL to ace cards in the NHL. They may be jacks, but what happens is those jacks have so much enthusiasm and so much energy, and they're so desperate to do well, they continue to push the pace of the game. And that's what the Avalanche got from our call-up guys. And then you get a guy like Graves. Ryan Graves goes in, and he leads the NHL in plus-minus after spending 3/4 of the year with us last year. So really, that's when an organization is really in full stride. It's done a great job drafting. It's done a great job signing players like a Graves and trading for, these under-the-radar trades and a Francouz, and they resource themselves with enough depth that they can go on. And it's like you're 100% right. When you lose key people, there is no doubt there's going to be a change in the rhythm and a change of confidence. But when you can replace those spots, even if they're face cards of like ace and kings, with players that give you that pace and additional personality, you can keep winning, and the Avalanche proved that.
My final thought, Coach, and again, thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. And the enthusiasm I can hear in your voice here for both the Eagles and the Avalanche. And again, a tribute to the organization with Joe Sakic, Coach Bednar, and yourself. In your opinion, as you look into your crystal ball, Coach, I got to ask you to look into your crystal ball. It looks like both the parent club along with the Eagles are pretty much in good shape here for a couple 3 seasons. Again, I know trades and free agency all come along, but it looks like both these teams are ready to rock and roll again.
It's written across all the sporting publications, all the hockey-related publications, that the Avalanche are premier organization in the NHL right now. I think you don't have that, you don't get that tag if you don't have a good minor league system as well. And I just spoke to that, how they have injuries and they get called up. And believe me, Colorado Avalanche, the organization's in a real sweet spot right now. If you look back to when Joe Sakic and Forsberg and Foote and those guys and Roaz were winning Stanley Cups, they also had really good minor league teams in Hershey back then. And I think this is happening now. It's been absent for almost 2 decades, and now it's coming back. So if I'm a fan, if I'm a hockey fan, I think what you'll see, guys, I don't really know the landscape up there in Cheyenne and southern Wyoming, but I think what you'll see now is a new generation of hockey enthusiasts, and that's just not going to be the fans. It's going to be youth hockey. It's going to really explode here. And you'll see it explode in northern Colorado like it's never been before. It's just a really, really good time to be a hockey fan in Colorado. It really is. So it's a credit to the organization, Joe, and the ownership there, and Martin Lind and the management here with the Eagles.
I mean, absolutely. You can see that at least the fan base growing up here in the city of Cheyenne, or at least across the state of Wyoming, especially with how well the Eagles are doing, and also through the Colorado Avalanche. So, again, hockey is getting kind of reborn in the Cowboy state, and, again, that's a great thing to see, especially on the youth side. But my final question for you, Coach, again, as we've talked about, appreciate you joining us here today, but want to get your opinion where – we know that this season is canceled and everything that is going on, where we kind of live life day by day, and again, news article to news article, where things fluctuate, things change, states open up, and then they kind of reclose, or again, there's really no definitive answer. But want to get your opinion on 2020, 2021, AAHL, and also to the Colorado Eagles. Do you believe in October that Eagles will be able to step on that ice there at the Budweiser Event Center, or do you foresee that we could see a delay to the start of next season?
I can't give you an answer on that. I'd rather change the direction of the question. What I do think is going to, it's going to be addressed before October. I do think the NHL will try to fill in the blanks that are now open after the Olympics have been canceled. Those 2 weeks in July where the TV was flooded with an audience to watch the Summer Olympics that was scheduled for Tokyo and is now empty. So think about this logically. Like, the other sports are already committed to other networks. So if NBC bought the rights to that, it's still empty space. My guess is, just reading from different things, that the NHL will try to harness a season and maximize playoffs during those 2 weeks or 3 weeks of July. And I think what will happen is, however well that goes or doesn't go, that will have a ripple effect on how the NHL and the AHL conduct the 2021 season.
Well, Coach, it is a pleasure again to chat with you, and again, looking forward to seeing the Eagles back on the ice as well as the Avalanche, and hopefully we can not so much a return to normal, but get the restart button, and we all can get our butts back in seats, maybe 6 feet apart, who knows, but get out there and watch you on the bench and the guys on the ice.
Well, I tell you guys, I had last week, I took a trip up to Laramie. I didn't swing through Cheyenne, but I was up in Laramie. I went hiking up in some areas on the border. I just went through Laramie. I love that football stadium. It's a really nice venue. And then I walked around a little bit, and I wouldn't have known there was a coronavirus going on in Laramie, Wyoming. It's actually refreshing to see people walking around without masks on. So.
We already do social distancing. It's like every town's about 40, 50 miles apart.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, Coach,
Great
thank you.
guys.
Thank you so much. You take care, and we'll chat with you again real soon. Greg Cronin, Colorado Eagles head coach, joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We will take a break. We'll be right back.
You say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
All you good folks in Laramie and Goshen counties, listen up, please. Cheyenne Neurological is now operating a satellite clinic in Torrington at 524 College Drive. Yes, top quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence will now be provided by the highly trained staff of Cheyenne Neurological in Torrington. So save yourself a trip and take advantage of the same wisdom, compassion, and expertise that served Cheyenne for over 30 years. Call Cheyenne Neurological at 307-635-4131.
If you're looking for fun and style, then the new 2019 Kia Optima has what you need. And here at Kia of Cheyenne, we can help you own one. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Optima will reward your daily drive with comfort, performance, and advanced engineering. Kia Optima technology, your phone allows access to remote lock or unlock, climate control, 24-hour roadside assistance, and much more. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne. Family-owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti and Nick Proetti. Thank you again to Greg Cronin. How did he sneak into Laramie, huh? Must have had. We got a rental car that had like Laramie plates or Cheyenne plates on it. That's how
I highly doubt it.
No.
Again, it's
you know
again as we have the borders, and again it goes back to our conversation where at least the Game and Fish here in the state basically denied at least out-of-state licenses to be bought because again we were supposed to have the at least 14-day quarantine of those bordering states of Colorado, Nebraska, all that fun stuff a while back ago. But again, it just proves again that unless you're going to put highway patrol out there on the borders, which again I am totally against, or at least I would hope no state would ever do that. But again, you can't really enforce
well,
something
and here's
like that.
the deal, too. And I don't want this to come off being disrespectful or non-caring. But people are getting bored with this now. I mean, they want to stretch their legs. They want to do things. There was in the thumbs up, thumbs down edition of the Wyoming Tribune-Eagle this past Saturday, they gave a thumbs down to all of us that don't wear masks, especially when we're going shopping and what have you. Well, I went to the store.
Again,
I went to the store
It's
today.
not a law, and they also
I understand.
it's not a citywide.
But I went to the
ordinance.
store this afternoon. I picked up some stuff, right?
Yeah.
And aside from the workers wearing masks, I could tell you of the 20-plus people I ran into at the store, maybe a couple, 3 were wearing a mask.
Yeah.
People are going without a mask. People are ready.
Again, the mask that the CDC early on of saying, hey, it's kind of the placebo effect of where it's not really going to protect you, and then they kind of went back and said, well, we just recommend it.
Yeah, I mean.
And again, that was about a month after of saying it's not going to help you. So
when I get in line to go, check out, I stand 6 feet back. I respect all of the social distancing and all that, but I mean. And again, I don't want this to come off as being, cold-hearted, but we're bored with it. We have done what has been asked of us, and now we're ready to move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, unfortunately, there are 100-plus cases here in Laramie County, and 7 people have died within the state. Matter of fact, we were talking before we went on the air. They said somewhere between May 2nd, May 9th was going to be our peak time for people dying. Well, luckily we haven't. I think people have respected what was asked of them, and now we're ready to get back after it. Weather's getting better. It hasn't really shown it here the last couple, 3 days. But
not really.
But, the sun is, right now, as I went out, the sun is shining. It's, people want to get out. Whether they want to hit the ball or go for a walk, play golf, do their outdoor things. They are tired of being cooped up.
Well, and again,
those that want to go back to work want to go to work.
You have gyms opening back up where, again, at least some of the corporate ones took at least a while, just got the email of saying, hey, Planet Fitness is finally open over there at the Frontier Mall. So at least opening as of tomorrow. But again, you have to follow some guidelines, or at least they had to prepare for to follow what was the state kind of restrictions, so to speak. But again, you're seeing it's a slow transition to open, but it's not as fast as folks would want to. Again, out here in the state of Wyoming, where we talk about and kind of kid about, hey, we follow social distancing even before this ever happened. Again, you kind of see that there is an outcry of, hey, it's really not affecting our state as anticipated. We've kind of, and again, Coach Cronin kind of alluded to it. Again, we've seen it here first and foremost of living in the city, again, the largest city here in the state of Wyoming. If you didn't know it for the past 2 months, you didn't think we were in a pandemic.
Yeah, have you noticed Del Range? All of a sudden, it's almost like, hey, people are out stretching their legs.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, what was it the other day? Was Sunday or Saturday? I can't remember. As I was coming in back to the office, down the road here, Starbucks, they were like lined up 25 deep. I mean, people are that desperate just to wait for a cup of coffee.
I guess.
Oh, my gosh. So,
again, people already in this town did that before pandemic hit. Again, look at some of the other new spots that hit here in town. But again.
But, I mean, it's like, we're over this. I know it's still a very bad disease. And then, of course, we got thrown, another wiffle ball with the murder hornets. So we go from one to the other. I mean,
again, the murder hornets are really nothing.
How about 2020? We just throw the calendar in the damn garbage can and move on to 2021. I mean, this year is based.
I still think 2020. There's still somewhat of this year left to kind of salvage or at least get back to.
There's hope.
There's not going to be old what was pre all this pre-November 2019, but. It is looking like it again. It's a slow crawl to get back to at least normalcy. It's not as fast paced as what many folks said. Again, you're not even in this state, but throughout the country where people want to get out to the beaches now, or they want to go out to parks, or they want to go to the lake or something like that. Where again, we're tired of being cooped up. Where it is that kind of just you live in a country where, yes, we're used to that freedom, and when you take it away.
You might want to rephrase like on the beaches. You can't lay on the beach. You can't suntan on the beach. You can walk. You can play, you can jog, but you can't lay on the beach. I mean, some of the restrictions are very anal right now. And again...
Well, again, we'll talk more about, or at least we'll get into the crux of some interesting kind of guidelines or at least provisions that even kind of hit on a local side again when we get Mayor Orr on with us, where she'll discuss of the recent opening. And again, it's a good step forward. Again, it's a small step forward, but again, at least post 6 Cheyenne Extreme, others can request to get on those fields.
It's a small step forward, Nick, and I agree with you.
It's better than nothing.
No,
right?
I agree, but it comes with too many restrictions. My goodness, you're treating us. The problem I have with the Wyoming state government, which trickles down to the Laramie County government, which trickles down to the Cheyenne government, is that you're treating us like little children. And first and foremost, I've got a major problem. And I've already let the governor know. I have a hard time you telling me what to do. I'm a businessman. I paid my dues. I've worked my way up the ladder. And now all of a sudden you're going to take that away from me with your rules and restrictions? I've got problems with that. And you're going to tell me what I can and can't do? Again, going back to the beach, and I heard this last night. This is true. You can jog. You can walk. Keep social distance. You can do everything on the beach, but instead of laying down and suntanning, you can't do that. What the hell? What do you go to a beach for?
Well, again, that's up to those states of what they do.
I know, but
again,
do you understand what I'm saying? Every different, there's 48 contiguous states, Alaska, Hawaii. And everyone's got a different viewpoint of how things should be done. The governor of Chicago, you could go
mayor of Chicago. I don't know where.
No, it's the governor.
Well,
the governor's
all right. Then governor of Illinois. Then.
Governor of Illinois. Excuse me. Governor of Illinois just said you can go out and boat on the lakes, but only 2 at a time. So if you're a family of 4, you can't do that.
Again, how are you going to manage that? How are you going to enforce that unless you put out some sort of Coast Guard out there? But again, it's interesting times of just how every individual, and again, looking at this state, especially on recreation or at least athletics, where again we're seeing the slow step into allowing it, but again there's still large hurdles still to overcome. And again, even with post 6 right now, where you even talked with board president Phil Maggard when we had him on the show saying, hey, we're one of the few teams that's not allowed to at least step on the field yet because the city at least ordinance or the city saying, hey, we're not allowing anyone on. Well, again, it was one of the few teams, and we know that it was Cheyenne. It was also too Jackson, and I think Laramie's also too having issues right now, where Laramie, I think, also too is either having a vote tonight or tomorrow where they're going to decide if they even want to play baseball this year.
Yeah, and
there's no guarantee that
they're one of the counties that are back in business.
Yeah.
So, and that's where Coach Cronin was talking about. Laramie at least is back in business. We're functioning, but we're not really totally in business right now. And again, when we talk with Mayor Orr, we'll find out more about what's going on, because I think
because it is a situation right now where on recreation athletics, especially here in the city of Cheyenne, where it's not just post 6, it's not just Cheyenne Extreme, it is also too
Junior League,
Rec
Ruth,
League,
Senior Babe Ruth. We're talking
Rec League as
Rec
well.
League, yeah. I mean, there's so much that goes on.
I think lacrosse also too happens during this time as well. So again, you got a lot of athletic fields that. I was kind of joking with you where I would assume that a lot of these parks, or at least Bremer, Pioneer, whatever it may be, might be just padlocked. But if you're really desperate, if you're a teenager, or if you wanted to go and step out, where again, I highly doubt Cheyenne Police Department is out there monitoring 24/7 surveillance on these fields. If you really wanted to, you could just climb the fence and just get on.
You could climb the fence, but they can't see you. Yeah. Again, everything's chain link, Nick. So if I'm driving on Converse and I see you hitting a softball on Converse softball fields, and I'm a cop, I'm going to pull into the parking lot. I'm going to ask you to leave. I probably wouldn't cite you, but I'm going to ask you to leave.
I would hope not.
So yeah, but I would think law enforcement has been pretty relaxed as far as they're not going to put you in the hoosegow for hopping a fence and playing softball or baseball. But again.
But some of
all the facilities that are, as you say, locked, and they can be entered by hopping the fence.
Yeah,
it's simple enough to have somebody drive by and see you and say, adios.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, that could even happen before the pandemic, of where it's considered city trespassing. But during this time, hey, people are going to be desperate. They're going to do whatever they want, or at least not do whatever they want. But again, if you really want to step on a baseball field, get out of the house, you're going to do it. You're gonna kind of break a little bit of the rules, so to speak, and go, hey, I'm tired of playing on a terrible field. I'm going to step out on Pioneer or whatever because I just want to get out. I want to go get back to some normalcy. But, looking at some of these guidelines, and again, we'll talk more with Mayor Orr about all this. And again, it kind of falls along with what Cody Beers and at least the American Legion, at least that department kind of came up with to get American Legion baseball underway here in the state of Wyoming. But, looking at it where there's a practice only at least time frame, which is supposed to end today. So I'm assuming for the extreme, for post 6 as well too, of hey, here's your practice window. And then apparently field reservations will begin 8 a.m. starting tomorrow, May 13th, where field requests will be emailed. They have that email set up through someone at the city of Cheyenne. Again, field requests will be taken in order received, confirmed via email. So if I'm a rec team or if I'm a baseball team and, hey, I want to go play out on Powers Field, could it be in theory of, hey, post 6, you were late to the window. I'm taking Powers Field. You go play somewhere else, or you lose that opportunity to play there, or you go to Pioneer or something like that. Again, not saying that's going to be a major issue. I don't think it's going to be, but it sounds like if I really wanted to, if I wanted to say, hey, I got a scrimmage, I need Powers Field. Hey, City of Cheyenne, I want that field.
Well, see, and here's the drill. And again, too, let's look. If you want to practice on city fields,
no more than 9 people.
If you want to practice on city fields, let's count them out and think about how many teams there are. Bremer has 3 facilities. Converse has 3. One is basically the extreme field.
Yeah.
So there's 6 facilities for softball. Then you have Coke Gonzalez on the west side. You have the 2 VFW fields for, girls softball. So again, I'm trying to tabulate 9 fields. Pioneer makes 10 for baseball. Plus you have Powers, and then you have the Lansing and the Dutcher fields. I mean, we're not talking. We got 85 fields around. We only got about 20 fields, and then you have all your other schools, but you can't get on school district property right now to practice where, a lot of teams usually use a school to go and have their practices.
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, could someone find a loophole in this and say, hey, it's not for baseball, it's not for softball, but I'll go to the city of Cheyenne and say, request this field and go practice soccer out there or go practice lacrosse or something like that? Because, again, it's a flat level field. It's hopefully still monitored grass, or at least taking care of the infield at Powers or Pioneer Park, where hopefully city officials, even though, again, recent layoffs, you wonder if that rec department is still mending those fields.
Well, luckily on the infield portion of it, it's all weather turf.
Yeah.
So the outfield would be your
only
concern.
I'm just saying, are there loopholes that folks can get away with here?
I don't even want to see. This is what's silly and stupid. And that word you just used was loophole. There shouldn't be a loophole. These should be open to the public.
Yeah.
These are public-funded fields. I mean, the city didn't buy them and own them. I mean, who do you think paid for them, Nick? Taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
Same with the schools. It's interesting too. You go to the schools. They're building the new KRAE right now, and they're also building over there where Blue Federal Credit Union is going to have their office. I've noticed that construction workers are not social distancing, and there's more than 10 of them working on these facilities right now.
What, are you going to narc on them?
No, but I'm just saying, what the hell? Again, it's like we've got handcuffs here in some respects. Some respects we don't have handcuffs. What is right? What is wrong? As you say, we need a loophole. Those are public fields. We should be able to go to the public
I'm not
park.
saying you need a loophole, but again, there are loopholes there, it seems like, or at least it's nothing where, hey, it's cut and dry, or again, if anything, I could see this blowing up in the city's face in some way, shape, or form. But again, we'll get more information on it. But again, you'll look at these practice, at least operation plans, or at least guidelines, where again, no more than 9 people on a field. You got to make sure that everyone is healthy on that field. How are you going to monitor that? Again, if I'm again, not to call out Post 6 or call out the Cheyenne Extreme, but again, if I'm a teenager and I'm desperate to get back on the field and play some baseball and get out of the house, and maybe I have a little bit of a cough, not saying it's COVID, but again, as we look at recent temperatures where, hey, it dipped down to the 30s, it snowed a little bit, and it snowed up in northern Wyoming, hey, you might catch that ever-lovely kind of temperature cold or whatever where, hey, I might – if I'm desperate enough,
you might have the crud, yeah.
I might hold in that cough but still be sick.
And you probably will wear a mask on the field too, won't you?
Well, and again, I think that's also true. One of the requirements is wearing a mask. No players will stay more than 6 feet apart from each other. So
kind of makes it tough for the catcher and the batter.
No scrimmages, no playing at night, or at least no practicing at night. Washing is required for every bit of equipment. Every bit of equipment. That also too includes the fields as well too. Again, coaches, board members required to clean all areas prior to and after practices. So how are you? Again, it's all at least of what you have in place. And again, this is a guideline that coaches, board members of any teams or whatever it may be have to fill out and adhere by. But the question is, will they though?
Let me ask you this question. So we start reserving fields, and let's just say, for argument's sake, the fields of play will be available Friday, just for argument's sake, okay? Mm-hmm. So when do we start opening the fields up? 8 o'clock in the morning? 10 o'clock? Noon? How late do they go? Because obviously we can't do anything at night, so nighttime usually is around 8:30 here now.
Well, and again, these rules, these guidelines, so to speak, again, I'll say them as guidelines because it doesn't look like you could really absolutely enforce all this or at least monitor all this. There's no way that the city of Cheyenne can unless they're going to be really strict about it in some way, shape, or form and have some sort of city official or at least police department out there to monitor all this. But again, as of right now, it says no night practices. Well, does that mean after the 12th or at least today going into the 13th, can we have night practices, night games? Is it something that, after tonight that those fields become completely open?
Well,
are these guidelines just for
night practices entails turning on the lights?
Yeah.
And the lights are paid for by the city. And the city right now is in kind of dire financial straits like you and me are.
All right.
So they don't want to pay for the lights because
don't you have to pay for water then? If that's the issue, then why even open up the fields in general? If that would be the issue, then don't you have to water those fields? Don't you have to make sure that they're maintained?
Yeah, and I don't know how many people
fertilizer. You got to mow them. And I don't think Post 6, Cheyenne Extreme, or anything like that is going to make sure that these fields or whatever is going to be
watered and mowed. They shouldn't. They're not supposed to. But again, this is again what we have done. What we have done as a people, we have again. I almost feel like this is communist China right now. I mean, this is what they want you to do. It's like the government is in charge of everything. You can't do anything until we say it's okay, and we're going to tell you the guidelines on how to do it. Again, think about it, Nick. Wait a minute.
Guidelines, they're not laws, so to speak. So again, you're not going to get arrested for breaking
if you and me are going to have a baseball practice, and we happen to have a field that we got reserved, we go do our practice, we get done, we call it a day, next team comes on the field. I mean, that's it. I mean, we got to sit there and make sure this is done. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you said earlier that no one can use the restrooms.
Yeah, no restrooms during no dugout use, no restrooms. But again, is it just during this practice time? Is it for the foreseeable future? Again, if this is something that you're just going to make temporary, why have it in place at all?
And has the
because again, Post 6 and Cheyenne Extreme and other teams around the city are again they're getting out there to do practices. Well, what are they practicing for? They're practicing to get eventual games. Well, you have these guidelines of saying, hey, no more than 9 people on a field. Well, how are you going to play a baseball game then?
Well, and my question is too,
is the city just basically wasting these teams' time right now? Or is this something that
I think they're trying to probably alleviate some chaos? I will actually come to their bat right now that they're trying to alleviate chaos because think of how many teams there are. just in softball alone. And when I last played, there was about 10 divisions. So you figure if there's 6 teams in 10 divisions, there's 60 teams right there.
Yeah.
Then you talk girls softball. There's probably about 30 teams there. Then you got youth baseball. We haven't even gone over to the junior league yet, where you played, I think, as young as, 7 years old, 7, 8 years old? I can't
Something
remember.
like that before T-ball.
Yeah. And look how many teams are there. Then they go across the street over to Dutcher Field and play Senior Babe Ruth. And then if you're fortunate enough to make the travel team, which was Post 6, you also have Post 6, you have the Hawks, and then you have all their little feeder teams, and then you have a couple other travel teams in town.
Yeah, Triple Crown as well, too.
Everybody's needing a place to practice.
Yeah, we're...
And you don't want to practice on a field.
Yeah.
You know, you want to practice on a groomed ball field if you can.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the city's doing this. I could see this to alleviate some chaos.
It's a small step, but again, it
just comes with too many rules.
It should be just a full step where, again, you just leave it into the hands of those, at least organizations, to make up what it is and just allow them to step on those fields without a doubt, where, again, it is that kind of, at least, public property, so to speak, where, hey, Post 6, you're out there, you make the guidelines of how you want, where even if junior league is open and operational and those kids want to get out there, and again, that league wants to operate and have games, where can you really enforce it? Again, we'll get the clarity on this, but if it goes into junior leagues of saying, hey, no parents out there, how are you going to do that then?
Well,
how can you, again, where you're gonna allow the kids out there by themselves, where the coach, I don't know.
But
it's not really kosher.
But you're also saying this too, though, Nick, and I think you mentioned this here a week or two back, that financially, everybody's going to take a hit on this. Now, on the softball side, city softball, run by the community rec center, whatever, recreation events, they're standing to lose some money. Cheyenne Junior League is going to lose money. Yeah. Okay, you go right down the list. And again, if there's no fans or only parents can attend, is there going to be concessions? You're going to sit through a 1 or 2 hour game. You can't go to the can. Come on. There's a lot of things that
again
that just aren't kosher right now.
We'll get that understanding again. Is this guideline for the foreseeable future? Is it for a specific timeline? Is this how we're going to operate? Where, again, if Post 6 is in play, if Triple Crown is in play, if Cheyenne Extreme, the junior leagues, rec softball, is this how it's going to be even during games?
It sounds like everything's in layers, and we're going to rip off a layer every week or so. Hey, until we're finally done with all of the layers and play ball.
But again, as you rip off those layers, we get later and later where, to the point where, especially for some of these athletes, or at least some of the young men and women out there, hey, it's high school time or college time. Well, guess what? That season's now gone.
Then you also run into other seasons, as far as like for rec softball, you run into co-ed along with over 35 or whatever it's called. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fallout from all of this. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back with hour number 2 after this.
Capital Lumber is number 1 in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti, inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today, only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480KRAE.com.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they always service what they sell. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. Best brands, hometown service.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. It's time for Wyoming Sports Talk today on KRAE. Here are your hosts, Nick and Larry Proetti.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, South Greeley Highway, Persian and Ridge, Delrange and Ridge, KRAE Avenue, and on Yellowstone Road. Again, use the convenient drive-thrus. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. You can either go to KiaCheyenne.com, do your business that way without going onto the lot, or you can kick a few tires, take a test drive by heading onto the lot. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Again, use the convenient drive-thru. If you need other services, call them at 778-0821. You will find Platte Valley Bank on Vandehigh and again at the corner of College and Pershing. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, 2 convenient drive-thrus. Again, use the Chick-fil-A app, and they are offering curbside for 3 delicious squares Monday through Saturday. Windmill Delrange across from Powersfield and Menards. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs next door to Texas Roadhouse. And again, use the convenient drive-thru or social distance inside. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue, 638-6468. Sales office to the left and the service office to the right. Make sure you use the hand sanitizer as you enter B&B Appliance and TV. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Again, limited hours. Call 634-6608. The repair and painting business still going as normal, but office hours have been limited from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Give them a call, 632-3500 when you are planning to do your banking, as First Tier Bank will take care of all your banking needs by giving them a call, 632-3500. Mondello's Pizzeria, Joe and the crew, 778-6068, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Delicious Paisan cuisine, open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. Sundays are open at 12 noon. And we also want to thank our good friends at Pepsi of Cheyenne, our scoreboard sponsors, which right now is blank. Nick.
I don't know why you went to me, because, again, there's no scoreboard.
Oh, usually have something to say.
Not really at this point in time. Again, hopefully we will have a scoreboard here very soon, as we were talking about, or at least alluding to with Post 6 and Cheyenne Extreme. So hopefully that will be at least something to talk about.
We'll get softball scores. We got a scoreboard working. That's for sure.
At this point, it's pretty much, If you got lacrosse going on, we'll give you an update on that one, or hopefully the Cheyenne Roller Derby as well too gets underway. So, hopefully here in this part of the world we'll get underway with some athletic event, some athletic game here very soon.
All right, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back with Mayor Marian Orr in a little bit.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds.
We're best buds. And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi!
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
Did you know B&B Appliance and TV has a local warehouse where they stock a variety of appliances in a wide range of colors and finishes, including black and white? Their friendly staff realizes that one look isn't for everyone, and appliance shopping isn't always convenient. B&B Appliance offers free in-town delivery and disposal of your old appliances. They'll be there for you after the sale, too, because they all
Larry Proati along with Nick Proati, hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today. We get to talk to the Honorable Mayor of Cheyenne, Marian Orr, who joins us this afternoon. And Mayor, thank you so much for joining us today as we get to talk a little sports.
I'm excited to.
Well,
I miss them. I miss them terribly.
I know we don't have to talk budgets or anything like that. Well, I don't know. Maybe this will probably go into the budget somehow. But there's a lot of folks chomping at the bit, Mayor, where the kids want to play softball and baseball, and guys want to play softball and baseball, and we only have so many fields, but we got a lot of teams that are chomping at the bit. Tell us a little bit, are the properties open to the public yet?
Yes, we have opened the ball fields to the public and to the teams. As of, I believe it was even last Wednesday, teams could go ahead and schedule their practices, but we are still working under the guidelines that are coming down from the state health official regarding groups. And so the teams can practice, but they have to do so like in small groups of less than 10. And then they have to, socially distance still, 6 feet apart, but, at least allow them to get out there and run around and get things kind of, moving.
I was mentioning last hour before we had you on, it seems like, and again, you have to go by, Laramie County here, the health department, as they're going to issue guideline after guideline. But it sounds like all of the athletic events for the upcoming late spring, summer is going to be like in layers. We're going to take off this layer this week, and maybe 10 days down the road, we're going to be able to do this. I mean, are you going to be getting updates almost on a daily basis, it seemed like, from the health department?
Yes, and as frustrating as that is for everybody, regarding planning and playing, I know that, I think we'd all love just to go out there and pretend that things were normal, but all of the direction that our state health officer's been getting, that I've been getting from other mayors, from health officials, is that the best way to ease back into this is to basically just do that, do it in layers and waves. And so that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We've got a meeting. The governor tomorrow is going to be talking about his latest orders and if that will be lifted as of Friday and what that might look like. So we might be able to add additional folks on. I don't know that we're going to be having games anytime soon, but maybe if we could, again, get teams, of 40 kids out there. I don't know, if it can be that much, but slowly start to incrementalize up. And again, getting our kids out there, sunshine and fresh air, I think is the best thing for everyone.
So looking at the guideline, the press release that came out about regarding opening the fields under those new guidelines, again, the time frame for practices only were May 9th to May 12th, May 13th, where field reservations would begin at 8 a.m., where, again, requests were sent out to emails, at least through there, to the city of Cheyenne. So basically, it sounds like, Mayor, though, at least that May 13th is not the start date for Post 6 and Cheyenne Extreme to at least start playing games. It's pretty much games are still up in the air for a lot of our teams. Is that basically what you're trying to say? Is it's kind of wait and see of what the governor has to say tomorrow?
Yeah, thank you, and that's exactly it. So time flies or it doesn't. I forget which Wednesday it is. So as of tomorrow, teams can then start going online and scheduling just their practices. And I did read in the sports page today that nationally the Legion teams have decided not to have games. I'm not sure what our own teams are going to be doing, if they're going to be following national guidelines or not. But we are certainly going to be keeping in close communication with everybody involved.
Now, as I look at city softball and having played it for many, many years, usually we're probably about 3 weeks into the season right now playing games, and we usually try to wrap up seasons before Frontier Days. Well, we don't even have an exact start yet to the Cheyenne City Softball League, just for argument's sake. I'll throw that out there. Has your rec department at least come up with a tentative schedule of when games could possibly be played and how long the season might be?
Yeah, we did not only community recreation events, but really every department in the city has put forward a plan with how to gradually open things up. And certainly our recreation folks did that. It's in a draft form because the City County Health is actually meeting tomorrow once, again, the governor discusses his orders to see if ours basically fall in line with theirs. It's really important that we take their lead and not go out and do our own thing. So it is a kind of a day-by-day situation as far as, when things kind of will open up. But, hopefully, God willing, we'll have a really beautiful Indian fall and can play much later into the season than we normally would have.
Regarding these guidelines, Mayor, where, again, it's all up in the air, and again, it depends on what our county says and also the governor it says as well, too, and where those plans can change at any point in time, where hopefully it gets a little bit relaxed. But as of right now, where, again, it stands where no more than 9 people on a ball field. Again, players have to make sure that every equipment is clean, dugouts are closed off, bathrooms are closed off. My question more so, and again, it kind of talks more on the freedom aspect, or at least kind of the surveillance aspect, so to speak, with Powers, with Pioneer, with Brimmer, with any of these fields that are now opened up to the public to go out there and practice right now. Is it something that these guidelines are going to be strictly enforced by some city representative out there monitoring this, or again a health official, or not saying that CPD is going to be out there, but is it something that it's going to be strictly kind of looked at and enforced during this time?
Well, there's no reason to have really measures in place if they aren't enforced. It's not something we actually have probably better things to do with our days than stand around and watch practices and count heads. But we really just ask that everybody respect the guidelines for right now. And actually, what's been happening, and it is disappointing to me, but it is what it is. And there's a lot of self-policing. I mean, these teams are competitive, and they were snapping pictures of some rather large gatherings and practices a couple weeks ago and turning them in. And we don't want to be heavy-handed, and we want to work with everybody and certainly talk through, why things are the way that they are. And but no, the last thing I want to see is, somebody out there writing tickets
and what's that flying overhead? Shoot it down.
Right, yeah. No, thank you, though.
Mayor Marian Orr joined us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Mayor, let's ask you this question, going back to when we get the okay to start the season. Are we going to see, and again, I know this is all speculative, and I know you guys have contingency plans in place, but, going out to the softball, let's go out to Brimmer and let's go watch a game. Are we going to be able to sit in the stands, going to be able to get a Coke and a hot dog on a nice summer night, or is that, again, something that has to be looked into almost on a daily basis? Because what we're hearing, like on the Legion side, or even like Major League Baseball, empty stadiums, maybe mom and dad can come out. Are the days of fans going to be lost this year?
Well, unfortunately, it really appears that way, and not only for Cheyenne and our youth softball and baseball, but we're even seeing this nationally. I'm a huge college football fan, and the thought of not having Saturday football games this fall to be able to sit in the bleachers for collegiate games is these are obviously unprecedented times. But what we will plan on doing is, again, a really measured approach. Probably limiting, the amount of spectators, making sure that they're separated out. Not sure about concessions. Again, we're just following best practice and guidelines where you've got to carry your own stuff in and carry your own trash out. So this is just all things that we're working through, but we really appreciate everybody's patience. And if anybody's got, good recommendations or suggestions for maybe what other communities are doing, feel free to shoot them our way. We're really... There's no playbook for this, and, we may look back and say, boy, we really kind of overreacted, or we may look back and say, wow, you know what, we really kept our community safe.
Mayor, I want to get your update as we'll move away from at least baseball and softball fields, and we'll talk about other recreation or at least facilities here in town, that being the Ice and Event Center. What's kind of the status right now of the Ice and Event Center? Are folks able to go out there, go mini golfing, go to laser tag? Is it even open right now for the public to at least get some rec in, at least entertainment, so to speak, here in the city of Cheyenne?
Right. It's not yet. The weather is still just now kind of, getting a little brighter and warmer. Looking at, again, putt-putt is something that we, plan on working on. But one of the other things, too, that we've spoken about as a team is we really want to be respectful for the private businesses in town. Say, for instance, roller skating. That might be something that we would have in the summer available to kids. Well, we've got a private roller skate rink facility that was really impacted and has been impacted by all of this. And so whatever it is that we do offer out at the Ice and Event Center, such as maybe the bumper cars, it won't be activities or venues, if you will, that compete with our private businesses.
Let's talk about Cheyenne Frontier Days. Obviously, we'll have CEO Tommy Hersig on, and you've been obviously in contact with Frontier Days, and it was sad to see that the Calgary Stampede, along with the Greeley Stampede, they decided not to have their performances this year. So obviously disappointment. That immediately threw a lot of fear into us that there wouldn't be the Daddy of them all. But then we got good news. Possibility of graduation ceremonies being held on the 12th and the 13th of June, which would be a little lead up to opening up the facility on the grounds at Cheyenne Frontier Day. So again, Mayor Orr, I know it's still got a question mark by it, but are we looking pretty positive for the Daddy of them all, possibly to go the full distance?
I really can't speculate on that, other than, certainly been in close communication with CEO Tom Hersig, and some of our questions are not only about the rodeo and the concert performance acts and the numbers that they draw, which are fantastic, but how do we or do we hold a pancake breakfast? If concessions aren't really something probably that we're going to be doing, do we really want to be mass feeding people? What about the parades? We tend to pack people in, and so there are certainly lots of moving parts to Cheyenne Frontier Days. And this is our 124th. Next year will be the 125th, and I know that the team is really obviously looking ahead to that one too. But one of the things that we did discuss in our great partnership that we have with Cheyenne Frontier Days, and that is the 4th of July fireworks celebration that they do. And both Tom and myself really want to see that we are able to work together and have that fireworks display and that 4th of July celebration. It may not be held out at Lions Park. Again, we don't want people congregating in masses that early in July, and so we're looking at other options for viewing, possibly out near LCCC or out near the Park and Ride, but other more open areas of the community where folks can essentially pretend that they're at an old drive-in movie theater and watch the 4th of July fireworks. So stay tuned for that.
All right, we will, Mayor. Thank you so much.
I want to at least continue, and again, this is my final thought for you, Mayor, and again, appreciate you joining us today on Wyoming Sports Talk today, talking about kind of opening up the city of Cheyenne on more an athletic and recreation kind of side as we kind of move forward to some sort of normalcy here in the city of Cheyenne. But regarding Cheyenne Frontier Days, I'm assuming you and your staff have already kind of planned out or at least looked into a possible what if Cheyenne Frontier Days does not go underway here in 2020. Has that kind of economic or at least kind of outlook plan already, we'll just say emergency plan, kind of been looked at just in case CFD does not go on this July?
We most definitely have been talking about that, and obviously our tourism recreation dollars are very they're very important to us during the summer, and especially Cheyenne Frontier Days. And what we are realizing is that while we are currently working on the city's budget, and there's that B word again, the budget that we've been working through that's due to be finished June 1, but what we are really realizing is that this is going to have to be an evergreen document budget. We are probably going to have to at least meet quarterly with council and with the public to readjust both spending as well as, obviously to reflect any revenue. The other big thing that's out there, the legislature convenes here over the next couple days, and there will be money that will be available to the city of Cheyenne and to other entities, not to make up for lost revenue, but to possibly assist with spurring economic development, spurring tourism. So, maybe we can possibly find funds to improve on those kind of events, if you will. So again, we won't know more here for the next few weeks, and I really believe it's going to be ever changing.
All righty. Thank you so much, Mayor Marian. Join us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Keep us abreast of all of the athletic events that are coming up, and we will make sure we tell everybody about it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, Mayor Orr joining us here on 1480 KRAE. We're going to take a timeout, come back, talk a little baseball, and then we'll get ready to wrap things up.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
When you are dealing with the coin shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The coin shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
App, Snap, Deposit. It's that easy. No need to go to the bank. Use Mobile Deposit in your Platte Valley Bank app to get your money quicker. And every time you use Mobile Deposit during the month of May, you will automatically be entered to win $100. Try it today at PV Bank, 2, go.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC. For complete contest rules and alternate form of entry, go to www.pvbank.com/mobile deposit.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
You're looking for fun and adventure, Kia of Cheyenne is the place to start, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will help you find it. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Sorento will give you what you need to make things happen. This vehicle has plenty of power, all-season traction, safety features, technology, and comfort for any road you're on. The Kia Sorento offers plenty of standard features for the money, and we're all about saving you money. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Home, it's good to get an easy win for the whole family. So this month, we're turning Taco Tuesday into Taco Tuesday. Get our 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 savory beef tacos and a pound of crispy potato olays for $2 off any day of the week. Taco John's. See you in the drive-thru.
Drive-thru still open for all your family's favorites with easy ordering on the app and delivery at participating locations with the Taco John's app. At First Tier Bank, we are proud to be a member of this great community and will always support all of our high school athletes. First Tier Bank takes great pride in sponsoring the live broadcast of the games and would like to wish all of our teams good luck. We share the credo with Newt Rockney when he said, "One man practicing sportsmanship is far better than 100 teaching it." It's all about the high school sports at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Cheyenne.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, partly sunny with the chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Expect a daytime high of 68. Winds will be southerly at 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and breezy for tonight with our low down to 44. And for tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to be partly sunny with a chance for showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. We're calling for a daytime high of 69 degrees.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Larry Proetti, along with Nick Proetti. I liked your last question to the mayor, and you could hear, and I don't want to use the word terror, but you can hear her voice kind of crack a little bit. Yeah, where the loss of Cheyenne Frontier Days to the city itself would be just right now. Again. Frontier Days, yeah, they'll stand tall and proud because they've done very well. Where the city's going to hurt.
Yeah, where the city's already kind of crippled by this. And again, just look at the City of Cheyenne staff, where again it was alerted that hey, some of those staff have been furloughed or at least have been laid off of economic conditions. But again, it is kind of the hot button topic right now. And again, we'll get more from CEO Tom Hersig coming up on Thursday's show with Cheyenne Frontier Days. But it is a kind of pertinent question where, again, it's not just from Mayor Orr, but again, it trickles on down to us and any other resident here in the city of Cheyenne, where, again, if Cheyenne Frontier Days does not go underway, it's going to impact very heavily on economic, at least it's going to be a very negative economic impact where, again, we're not getting outside tourist dollars due to the fact that state parks are now limited to just Wyoming residents. The national parks are not open at all as a point. Right now, again, Game and Fish with the licenses, again, they restricted it to only in-state where you can only buy that. Where, again, tourism, it's going to take a big hit. And if Cheyenne Frontier Days does not go underway, that's going to be a ripple effect that is going to probably be felt for years.
Think about this, and this is the dollars and cents that we're not figuring or tabulating right now, is the sales tax.
Yeah.
And again, and the lodging tax. That's where, and a lot of these hotels, motels in this city, they gear up for those 10 days.
Yeah.
And again, those monies go back into the coffers of the city of Cheyenne, especially sales tax dollars. I'm thinking out there the softballers, the 36-hour marathon softball tournament. That draws teams from outside. Post 6 draws teams from outside. When they have home games at home, so do the Extreme.
Well, again, you're talking already economic money right there that is not going to happen at all. So, again, that is something that those hotels, these businesses that do rely on that, again, Chick-fil-A over there, buy powers, again, they cash in on that opportunity, but they're going to be fine. But again, some of those other smaller businesses that rely on kind of these summertime months, spring and summertime of that influx of people coming up to the city of Cheyenne, or at least to the state of Wyoming, and staying here and doing whatever their business is, it's going to ripple, and again, it's going to be very heavily felt. But if Cheyenne Frontier Days does not go underway, and again, it so far is still on, and again, we'll get more understanding from at least from Tom Hersig, and again, his thoughts and what the plan is right as of now for Cheyenne Frontier Days. But again, if it does not go underway, it is something that you would hope, and again, it sounds like from the mayor and her staff, or at least from the city of Cheyenne, that they have something in place, or at least they're working on trying to come up with a plan of that, at least emergency plan of, here it is, the worst case scenario has happened. We don't have this happening this year.
Well, the same thing too with Cheyenne Frontier Days. If it and again, and we'll get more of an update here coming up this week. But you think about it, Nick, from my point of view as a radio station, we're running advertisements for CFD right now.
Yeah,
we should be. We're talking May, June, July. It's here. And, you want to start pushing that needle right now, pushing that envelope, getting people here. Again, people are in a state of flux. They don't know who's coming, Who's not coming?
No.
Are there going to be fans in the stands? Nobody knows any answers. This is why I brought that up to the mayor.
Well,
June 12th and 13th, the graduation ceremonies at Frontier Park are going to be very critical on the social distancing, especially for those ceremonies.
But is that going to be a little too late, though, for fans who are on the fringe right now that are not in the city of Cheyenne or at least the state of Wyoming? But again, we have folks that come from all across the country to come to this large grand event every summertime in late July. Where is it going to be a little too late, or is it something that Cheyenne Frontier Days needs to act now and saying, hey, this is our plan?
The Laramie County Health Department pretty much is holding all the strings right now. They're pulling everything. Again, with the governor and Dr. Alexia Harris, the state epidemiologist. They are holding all of the cards. And everybody, like the mayor, Tom Hersey, Larry Proetti, we're all sitting here right now going, what's the deal?
Yeah.
And you even said it. You said it early in the program. We see cars all over Del Range. We see people at parks. We see people jogging. We see everybody doing everything, but nothing's open. Or
at least nothing is supposed to be open.
Well,
again, the playgrounds that are supposed to be closed off, people are still on those playgrounds. But again, I have no issue with that. Go right ahead.
But again, and we're still operating under March 15th marching orders. Hey, nobody can be in a restaurant. Nobody can be sitting down at your favorite coffee shop.
We're seeing some of those restaurants be a little, not going to say defiant, but again, they're going against those orders. We're saying, hey, we don't care. We're going to do our own thing. And we need the business desperately, so this is how we're going to approach. Again, you're going to see entities like that. And again, Cheyenne Frontier Days, could it be that one entity that says, hey, we're going to overstep you, Governor Gordon, we're going to overstep you, Laramie County, and we're going to do our own thing, and we need to?
Well, this is not even partisan politics. This is a matter of survival right now.
Yeah.
Me, we're in the survival of our life. We're in the battle right now. Thanks to what's going to come out of the state capitol, whatever comes out of Governor Gordon's mouth in the next press conference is going to affect you and me. It's going to affect probably all of our advertisers that are clinging right now as it is on the local side, because that's all we have. We have local business on our radio stations. And everybody right now is kind of clinging by a thread, needing some help. The state government has been basically worthless to everybody. Let's be real honest. They haven't done diddly. But you know what? The feds kind of came through a little bit for everybody. But this state government, all it's done is just...
a little bit with the 1,200 word.
Did you get it? You got yours. Yeah, I didn't get mine. Okay? But the point is...
It's still again,
I understand that, but the thing is...
For 2 months, here's $1,200 worth your time.
Yeah, but
which
you know
was
what?
Kind of a joke. But
you at least got it. The point is, though, not getting anything out of the state government. They're not handing bills out.
No.
They're not helping my business stay afloat. I have to do it on my own. And so does my friends at the Bread Basket Bakery. They got to do it on their own. They're out doing curbside service.
Yeah.
The thing is, this governor needs to take a look and, again, not play – and this is not politics right now. Don't matter what political party you're from. You're in business to make a living. And the whole deal here, you look at your pop. This is kind of like a crowning achievement for me. I own my own business. That's what I grew up. I wanted to be my owner, be an owner of my own business.
Nowadays, it doesn't seem attractive.
And now I'm like, anybody want to buy this thing? I'm ready to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because I can't handle this. And I'm tired of being told what to do. This is the USA. This is America. You might want to read the Constitution. And again, I say that to our governor. You might want to read the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Because I'm having a hard time with you telling me what I can and can't do. And again, as I mentioned earlier, it goes from the governor, it goes down to the Laramie County, and it goes down to the city of Cheyenne. I got a hard time with people telling me what to do. Because you know what? If I told the governor, hey, you know what? I'm not going to pay my state quarterly taxes to you. How does that sound, pal? Then you have no money in your coffers to go and give it to anybody, to the whatever entities that need it, like me. But, the thing is, it's just, I've had it. I've really had it. Either we step up to the plate, we pony up to the bar, and we start getting the restart button pushed, or we quit dilly farting around. Because that's what we're doing right now with people's lives.
Well, and again, the interesting fact is you look down south with the state of Colorado where, again, businesses are open. And, again, not just the non-essentials, but, again, it sounds like it is business as normal down there in Colorado.
Not really. They shut down a business.
Well, and again, that's up to that specific city and whatnot. But again,
shame on that health department for doing that.
Anyways, but it is something that you see down in Colorado where, again, they put out restrictions, or at least they said, hey, you got to wear a mask when you enter these businesses, no matter what. It is not up to the business. It's pretty much of, hey, everything's open, but go on out and go do whatever. But as long as you're keeping with the 6 feet, the social distancing, and also too, again, wearing a mandatory mask. So it's just interesting that a state that's larger in population, where again didn't get hit as hard as a New York or again a Louisiana or whatever it may be, but again they're basically saying, hey, we realize that economic times are tough. We need to push that reset button.
They say it, Nick. They realize economic times are tough. Come down off the mountain and see what it's really like down below. Visit these places individually. Quit hiding behind your desk and step on out and meet the real people of the world, and they're going to tell you exactly how much the dollars and cents are in losses. And they're going to tell you how much they're putting out of their own pocket right now. Because, again, mom and pop businesses like yours, truly, are putting money out of their own pocket. I don't call New York. I don't call Dallas. I don't call San Francisco to get corporate help. I'm on my own, pal. And if I survive, great. If I don't, I sink like the Titanic. Right now, I've hit the iceberg. That's where I'm at. All right, one last thing. And then you shake your head.
Well, no,
you shake your head because you don't understand anything about business. You're not a businessman. You get a paycheck, don't you? You get a paycheck, don't you?
Sometimes I didn't during this time.
Yeah, but I brought you back. You're getting a paycheck.
I mean, I have no issue, but again, it's something where all you can do is complain. But again, it's something of do something.
I have done something.
What?
I've made my case to the governor, and I told him exactly how I feel about it.
No, wow.
You know what?
That's doing something. Complaining on
what do you want me to do? What do you want to go to the mansion doors and say, hey, Governor, come to the radio station, check out my advertising?
I'm just saying, there's ways to do it, but again, all you do right now is just sit back and complain about it. But it's like, do something about it.
What can't you do? Well, I don't wear a mask. Okay, so here's what I've done, Nick. I'm not wearing a mask.
It's kind of like what Mayor Orr just said. Hey, if we're looking for suggestions of how we put on athletic events, of how other communities are doing, or at least
just do it. Don't fart around. Just get people back on the field. If you're that worried about it, if the Laramie County Health Department's that worried, have somebody out there taking your temperature as you walk into the Bremer Field.
Yeah.
Have somebody take your temperature as you go to Converse. If that's what you're worried about. You and me, we haven't been sick this year. And we were on busloads of trips with LCCC athletes that had come off the flu and what have you. And look at us. We're fine. So, just go back and hit the restart button and let's start life again and get out of this. Because everybody's I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people are in freaked out mode right now. One of our guys left because he's afraid. He hasn't come out of his house. He's basically sequestered himself home.
He's also too in that high risk area. So again, you kind of talking out of both sides on that one, but again, that's up to him and whatnot. That's up to him. But
that's fine.
But again, of the restart, again, it's pretty much again. I'll say it to you and anyone else. It's put up or shut up. Again, do something else and then go out and complain about it or talk about it. Do something about it.
I stand up on my radio show. I use my forum here on the media. So that's how I do it. I do it here and I do it on my sister's station.
And again, if there's something where I looked into, even with the SportsTalk show, or even our charity events, where again, you didn't come up with it, I did. Where again, it's a time where you got to be innovative. You got to find, as I talked about with those opening guidelines for the ball field, you find those loopholes. You find those ways to work around and say, hey, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to operate. Here's how we make our revenue. And again, you may have your restrictions, but I'm going to do it this way. to fall still in line, or at least do as much as I can without, PD or whatever, or state police or whatever it may be coming down on me and writing a citation or something like that. But again, I'm going to find a way to say, hey, here's this opportunity.
Well,
it's kind of like where you're seeing businesses say, hey, we're going to adjust and go to curbside.
I understand that, but the governor also, too, is making us work with one arm tied behind our back. Kind of hard to do. Got to have both arms free. All right, real quick here. One last thing that we got to wrap it up. Baseball. Yeah. Major League Baseball. Here's what the owners have come up with. And now this has to be ratified by the Major League Baseball Players Association. I'm telling you, they're not going to do it. These guys are greedy SOBs. They want their cash. The owners want their cash. Okay? So, first off, no 162-game season, 82 games. That's how they're going to do the games. About mid-June spring training, July, early July, kick off the season. Here's where it's going to fail. Owners want to split 50-50 the monies with the players. And again, remember, the owners are going to be having empty stands.
Supposedly,
stadiums.
again, we
for now.
The MLB has tossed out many ideas where, again, we look about a couple weeks ago saying, hey, Arizona was going to be the main spot where Major League Baseball was going to play. We have the tossed out rumor that teams were not going to play in the American League or the National League. It was all going to be West, Central, and East. And again, every team was going to play like that, and that's how the playoffs were going to go. Again, we've had many things from Major League Baseball right now where, again, nothing has been definitive. Nothing has come out official saying, hey, this is how MLB is going to go. This is how we restart. This is how we play baseball. Again, it's all been speculation. So this is another new speculation by Major League Baseball where it sounded like early on from the owners, at least the call for restarting or at least starting up the season after 4th of July. Again, the other finite details of stands or at least, again, how these venues are going to look, it sounded like owners weren't too happy about keeping it empty, or where they were looking into, as I kind of said, that might be the reality of, hey, you're going to find a way to separate fans 6 feet. But again, it gets into that logistic problem of what do you do with families that come on out.
But they're still making TV money. So, don't feel and cry me a river for the owners. They're still making money.
You don't think we're, again, for a Rockies game, when, again, they were terrible last year, or at least had that rough stretch where, to sit behind a dugout costs you individually about $200, $300. And again, that's the Rockies, where prices could elevate, escalate, go down, up and down, from the Dodgers, where they're probably the hot button item, to the Houston Astros, to out in the Coliseum with the Oakland A's, where you could probably pay them in dirt and you still get a ticket out there. But it again, you talk about, yes, TV monies. It's something we talked about even here on the local side, or at least over there in Laramie with the University of Wyoming, where yes, they still get monies from CBS or for AT&T or any of these kind of local operations for the Mountain West Conference, but the ticket sales matter still. Again,
I'm not going to argue that.
That is still money that you're not going to.
I'm just telling. Instead of making $1 million a game, Nick, the owners are going to probably make $750,000 a game, because the TV is more cash.
Okay, but again,
tickets.
You're fastly bleeding that money when you have exorbitant contracts where, again, you're paying.
That's what I'm telling you. The players aren't going to go for the 50-50 split, because they're going to say the owners are too greedy. They're going to say, ownership, you take 30, we need 70. Yeah. I've got Arenado's $30 million contract I got to pay. That's what I know exactly what you're saying. Here's another thing too proposed: designated hitters in both the American and National League.
No.
Wow, the National League?
No.
Well, for this year they're going to do it. I mean, that's proposed right now. Again, a lot of things that I'm seeing here.
It's not official.
Again, MLB Players Association is going to come back and with a resounding no on about half of this stuff here. That's just my opinion.
Well, again, we'll see. As MLB has tossed out millions of ideas, but nothing has been set in stone, where it is still in a state of flux of, is Major League Baseball even going to play this season? Right now, as it anticipates, and again, where you have the buttings of the heads, where you're seeing it also too with the NBA right now, with the Players Association and ownership in the NBA, where players want to get back out there, where you have the likes of LeBron saying, hey, how can you cancel the season, especially with what the Lakers were doing of, hey, they had a playoff run this year. You have players saying, hey, we want to get out, but
why do players want to get out, Nick? They're not getting paid anymore. As of May 1st, no one's getting paid. And the owners of Major League Baseball, in most cases, I can't speak on behalf of all of the teams, but I know in most cases stop paying their employees at the end of the last month.
For the superstars, is it about the money to get back on the court? I don't think so. I think the likes of a LeBron, Oregon, you look at the Rockies with Arenado, or you look with maybe a Posey.
It's love of the game. I agree with you
but
there.
I'm just saying they're also too very well off where I think they got probably a nice little nest egg that they can survive during times like this if for whatever reason these leagues say, hey, we got to cut that pay or we got to go 50-50 split on what's happening this year economic-wise, I don't think they would bat an eye at it. They go, okay, whatever, we're pretty well off as is. I just want to play baseball. I want to get back on the court, play basketball.
But what about that rookie?
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
The non-marginal.
It is a sticky situation where, again, the understanding from the NBA or at least the Players Association, they sent out a text of basically wanting a yes or no response of, do you want the season or at least do you want playoffs? Do you want basketball back here to finish out 2019-2020? Again, that data has not been posted, but it sounded like that was in the works right now of asking every player in that league of, hey, do you want to restart or do you want to just focus on 2020, 2021? And we'll see.
Yeah,
right now we have nothing.
And I can tell you right now,
more and more is shutting down again as we're seeing various now minor leagues close down. It's a scenario that as we approach it again, it goes back into our youth conversation with the kind of delay here in the city, or at least with Laramie County and the state of Wyoming, where, again, it was good in theory by Cody Beers, the commissioner of the Wyoming State American Legion Baseball, but it was good in theory of, hey, we want to get back out there. We're going to play games. We're going to have it some way, shape, or form in some sort of time frame. But now as we delay and again, as everything is day by day, you wonder, will we?
This is what I saw by the owners is the strike of 1994 all over again. I mean, the players will probably come back with something. We'll probably have a definitive here maybe in a week or two. But I can tell you right now, the players will come back with a resounding no. And this is the strike of that's the first thing that came to mind, strike of 94.
But again, it's something of, how, for the two New York teams, are they going to play there at Citi Field? Are they going to play at Yankee Stadium in the hotbed that is kind of what has been right now in New York City for a long time? It sounds like they've closed down further into June now. California is looking to close into June, or if already have. So again, that affects the Angels.
But the beaches are open.
With the Dodgers, with the Giants, with the A's right now. Again, that's 4 teams. That's 6 teams right now that are affected in kind of hotbed areas. The 2 Chicago teams, where, again, Illinois is still kind of locked down until June. You get into more of this of, is it going to happen? Is Arizona a viable place? Is Florida a viable place where Florida's kind of opening up and allowing WWE and a few other entities to start at least putting on at least live events?
Florida's open right now.
Yeah.
So, Florida and Arizona probably.
But are those players going to want to go to Florida? Are they wanting to go to Arizona?
If they want to get paid,
there's a million things. Yeah.
To make cash, they'll go. All right, we got to wrap things up. We will be back again.
Possibly tomorrow.
So, again,
it might be an abbreviated show, but tomorrow anticipating to talk with Adam Galicia with the Cheyenne Extreme to get an update on their season of what they're going to do. So hopefully we'll be able to get him on, or at least, if not tomorrow, we'll clump him in on Thursday show with already confirmed guest, Cheyenne Front Today CEO Tom Hersig.
All right, we're going to wrap things up here on our side of the block. And, again, want to remind you that back is